Let me begin by suggesting to you of how much of a big tragedy this is. What began as early reports on Monday, 6th February, of an earthquake striking the southern part of Turkey and Syria, the reports kept escalating the magnitude of the tragedy. The magnitude, as you know, was 7.6 and then 7.7. 435 aftershocks have taken place since then. The impact of the earthquake was also felt apart from Syria, Lebanon, Greece, Israel, and Cyprus. Let me now give you a sense. I may also mention that this is the biggest natural disaster to befall Turkey since 1939, when about 30,000 Turks died in a major earthquake. Now, to give you a sense of the build-up to Operation Dost, which Prime Minister, under his express instructions, has launched. It all began at about 7:38 on Monday morning. Dr. Jaishankar, EAM, had a meeting in South Block at about 10. At 12:30, Principal Secretary took an interministerial meeting, which had participation of the Cabinet Secretary, the Home Secretary, the Health Secretary, Secretary Civil Aviation, DG NDRF, DG MEA. We have presence from HQ IDS. So this meeting from 12:30 till 1:30 discussed, mind you, at this point of time, we had not formally received a request from the Turkish side seeking our assistance, but as you will recollect, around 11:30 or so, Prime Minister himself had tweeted expressing anguish at the loss of lives and property, and expressing his condolences, and also the fact that India stood in solidarity with the people of Turkey and was ready to extend all possible assistance. The meeting by Principal Secretary concluded about 1:30, and we went over the entire scenario of what could be done. Meanwhile, simultaneously or concurrently at 1 o'clock, we received an official email, a request from the Turkish side asking for assistance. We had an operational meeting thereafter at 3 o'clock in South Block between the Ministry of Defense, NDMA, NDRF, to strategize and to put together our resources. That meeting concluded at 3:30. And we take some satisfaction in sharing with you that within 12 hours of that meeting, the first SAR flight left for Turkey from Delhi. And thereafter, we had 4 such flights, 2 of them carrying NDRF teams and the other 2 C-17s carrying medical teams. We also had 1 aircraft C-130 to Syria carrying medical supplies and equipment. Our response under the direction of Honorable Prime Minister has been extremely swift. When you sort of soak in the intricacies of putting together an operation like this, which involves inter-services, different ministries, etc., putting both man, material, equipment in place, and that will emerge as my colleagues share with you the larger details of this operation. What I would like to stress here is that India has, since the tsunami crisis, built up enviable capacity in HADR, that is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. We have in various parts of the world stretched ourselves in quick time, whether it was Operation Rahat, Operation Ganga in Sri Lanka, in the Philippines, Japan. All these were operations which were launched with increasing professionalism. And this time, the speed at which it was put together, and also this is probably the furthest we have gone in terms of our HADR involving specialized teams. So we sort of try and live up to our reputation as being first responders and also net security providers in these challenging times.
Basically, we've had moved 4 flights, 4 C-17s already airborne, in fact landed, 1 C-17 ready to take off in the next few hours, 1 C-130 which has landed and equipment handed over, nearly 129 or 130 tons after the 6th flight would have been moved to Turkey, another 6 tons of equipment in the C-130 to Syria. Overall, 200 persons already on the ground, not specialized rescue personnel, another 50, so 250 personnel by the end of this flight, in addition to all the MEA civilian personnel that have already been mobilized.